Hello students. Today we'll discuss the concept of cyber security. So what is cyber, what is security, what are different threats, what are different preventive measures? All those things we are going to cover in our today's discussion. So the basic motto of my today's presentation is to understand what is meant by cyber, why is the need of cyber security, what are the security problems and in security field or cyber field, and how to implement and maintain security of a cyber field around us. As we know that to avail the benefits of key characteristics of computer system like speed, accuracy, diligence, consistency, and seriability, we can say, or network facility, network ability. Every member is using computer systems, and they are highly relied on the data or information which is stored on computer system. So it is now moral responsibility of any security administrator to secure the data which is stored on the computer systems. And for that purpose, he has to use number of different detective, corrective, and preventive mechanisms so that the data stored on their systems can remain secure and safe, we can say. So we will see what are different reasons due to which it is not possible to maintain 100% secure systems. So these are some of the reasons I have identified here. The first one is that there are hundreds of possible threats for the information or system, or you can say data which are stored on the computer system. There are a number of possible threats. So if you do security mechanism for a single threat, then there might be another threat which may pass your security mechanism. System resources may be situated at different locations. All devices through which you can gain access to your data, that devices or those stations or those resources may not be situated at single location. So if they are in scattered format, then to implement security methods, security mechanisms at different locations will be of very high cost. Then a single system might be used by multiple users. This is also one of the basic or one of the major issue in maintaining security. Then rapid technological changes make control absolute or unused as soon as they are installed. Now this rapid technology, we know that daily some new technologies, new changes, new threats comes into pictures. So what threat security mechanisms you are implemented nowadays might not be applicable, might not be useful for tomorrow also. So this is also one of the reason. Then people tends to violate security procedures because they feel the procedures are inconvenient. Many violators who violates the rules are caught go unpunished. So here, in case of cybersecurity laws, the cybersecurity laws are not strong enough. So due to which the members who violate the rules, if they caught, they get unpunished. And last, the cost of detecting and preventing hazards can be very high. So these are some of the reasons due to which it is not possible or it is not cheap mission to maintain 100% computer security. One survey conducted throughout the world, and from that it is observed that India stood or stands 10th position in the cybercrime as compared to all other countries. So this is a, we can say, alarming situation for India to take care of cyber crimes and cyber security mechanisms so that the data, the information that is stored on different machines or different, we can say, uh, databases, that can be secure. And if we are not maintaining that properly, security mechanism properly, then that organizations may suffer from different legal issues. To avoid the legal issues, to minimize the losses of that particular organization, organizations must take into consideration different security issues to maintain security of their assets. Now we'll see what is meant by the word cyber. The cyber world is a combination of IT enabled technologies. That may be a mobile phone, that may be a computer system, that may be a desktop, we can say. So any IT enabled technologies which are connected with internet and by virtual reality, all those combinations are called as cyber. So once you understood cyber, then we will see what is need of cyber security. So as we have discussed that when any terminals, any communicating devices are connected with the help of internet, then that facility that is called as, we can say, cyber or cyberspace. And what is the basic need of cybersecurity? Securing data from threats such as data theft or misuse, and safeguards your system from unauthorized access, attacks, and malware by cyber criminals. So cyber criminals are the criminal mind persons who tries to get unauthorized access to your system, and they theft your data, they misuse your data, and they do some attacks due to which your organization may suffer from some loss. So to minimize all those things, we have to take into consideration different cyber security mechanisms. There are two categories of cyber crime. In first category, the attacker may use a computer as a target, and second, the computer as a weapon. So in first category, using a computer to attack other computers. So I have in this case, the attacker used computer systems as a target to target other computers. Hacking, virus, worms attacks, denial of service attacks. These are the examples of such type of cybercrime attack. In this case, the computer as a target means by connecting our computer to other computers and making the other competitor's computer as a target, we are hacking his data, we are sending viruses and worms, or create a denial of service attacks to reduce the, you can say, bandwidth of that particular computer. In another case, the computer as a weapon. So here we are using computer system to steal the information of credit cards or some other data from other members. So these are two categories of cybercrime. The basic objective of cybersecurity or cybersecurity is that to maintain CIA triangle. CIA is confidentiality, integrity, and accessibility or availability. So what is integrity? Integrity refers to the ensuring the ensuring the authenticity of information. Means what? The information is not altered or source of the information is genuine. So to make the authenticity of the information, we have to maintain cybersecurity. Means what? How one can get secured that the information which is stored in database, which is safe, which is not altered. To give that confidence, we maintain computer security. Then second one is availability. Means what? When the authenticate user, when the authorized user want to access the information, want to access the data, that data should be available on his fingertip. If it is available, if it is not available in his request, then we can say the data is not secure. So to maintain the availability, to maintain the access to the authorized user is this second type of objective of cybersecurity. And the last type of cyber security objective is that confidentiality. That means confidentiality refers to protecting information from being accessed by unauthorized parties. Means the member who is having authority to access the data, the member who is having authority to edit or modify the data, only that member will be allowed to use, to modify, to delete, or do some manipulation on the data. So all those things are maintained by using cyber security. So these are the basic objectives of maintaining cyber security. Then what are different types of cyber crimes? There are n number of different cyber attacks, but the basic cyber crime types are hacking, denial of service, phishing, spam mail, email, spyware or adware, malware, ATM scheming or point of skill crimes, and ransomware. So these are some of the basic types of cyber crimes. We see some of these cyber crime types in our subsequent discussions. So first one is a hacking. So what is hacking? Hacking means an illegal intrusion into a computer system and or network. So hacking is nothing but there are three types of hackers: white hat hackers, gray hat hackers, and black hat hackers. These are the persons who tries to get access without taking authentication illegally. If they get permission of your system, then we can say the hacker has hacked your systems. So hackers are the persons who illegally get access of your computer systems and tries to steal some data, tries to modify data stored on your system. So these activities are done by hackers, and this process is called as hacking. The second one is a phishing. In phishing is a fraudulent attempt usually made through email to steal your personal information. So how the process will take place? The frauder build fake sites. The creates a look, appearance, and design of the website which is look like a same original website, and send thousands of phishing emails with link to different websites or different emails. Then the victim, the person who receives that email, if he click on the links email, behaves in legitimate, means what it look like original. They enter the personal information. When you got the such type of emails and when you open that mails, then automatically you give access of your machine to the attacker who has sent you the phishing email. And the frauder who compiles the stolen data and sell it online or use it themselves. So in this fashion, your data may get stolen from your machine, and that data may be used by somebody else. So this type of activity is called as phishing activity. So this is one type of cyber crime. The next one is the denial of service attack. So in this case, by creating floods of bandwidth of the victim's network, the victim network may get jammed, and due to which the victim machine may not get access to other clients who are needing some services from that particular server. So that is called as a denial of service attack. So in DOS, nothing but when single host is attacked, then that is called a DOS, and DDoS is nothing but distributed denial of service attack, where multiple hosts attack simultaneously and continuously. So here one example is given: attacker who sends denial of service attack to the master creates slaves, and all slaves occupies all bandwidth of the victim machine. So this machine cannot give access to any other machine who is requesting information from this. So indirectly the server gets occupied, server gets dumb. So this is called as denial of service attack. Then spam email. Spam email is the electronic version of junk mail. It involves sending unwanted messages to the large number of recipients. Spam can be used to deliver Trojan horse, virus, worms, spywares, and targeted phishing attacks. So in this case, what we are doing, the attacker use email as a weapon to pass Trojan horse or virus or worms to the targeted users. When that particular user use or opens that email, automatically the spam attached to that email get installed on your machine, and it gets activated and it start to do the activity assigned to that particular. If that is a version, it will delete your files, it will modify your files. It is worm, it will do some other activities. So what is we are attaching to that particular email on the basis of the task, on the basis of that particular program, that will disturb your system. So spam email is also one of the cyber threat. Now we'll see malware. The name itself indicates that mal is nothing but malicious and ware is nothing but software. Malware is nothing but malicious softwares the hacker use for extracting personal information or password, stealing money, or preventing owner from accessing their devices. So on that purpose, what different softwares, what different tricks, what different techniques the hacker uses, so all those techniques are nothing but malwares. So what are different types of malwares? virus, Trojan, rootkits, worms, spyware, crimeware, adware. These are some of the examples of malware the hacker use to extract some personal information, passwords, some information related to bank details, ID passwords, or preventing owner to get access from that particular his own device. For that purpose, some softwares are used. That softwares are called as malwares. Now we will discuss in detail what are those. The first one is a virus. So what is virus? Viruses are programs that attach themselves to the computer program or file and then circulate themselves to other files and other computers on a network. So the virus are the auto-generated or we can say distributed programs. When get attached to a computer system, the files or programs may get disturbed. Second one is a worm. Worms are unlike viruses. They do not need the host to attach themselves. They merely make functional copies of themselves and do this repeatedly till they eat all of the available space on the computer memory. Means worms are self-replicating programs. So once the worm is attached, inserted to your system, it gets duplicated, triplicated. So automatically multiple copies of that worm will be generated and it occupies total space of your memory space. And if there is no memory space available, then any program cannot be opened. So that is one of the second malware. Trojan, or you can also call it Trojan horse. Trojan horse or Trojan is a type of malware that pretends to be something helpful, useful, or fun. Means they send some messages, some emails that the targeted member will feel that there is important in we can say useful information or helpful information or some funny information, and when you click on that particular link, click on the particular image, click on the particular open the particular file, he becomes a victim of that particular attacker. And the attacker, with the help of the Trojan software or Trojan malware, he can access all data from that particular machine. Spyware is a type of malware that hackers use to spy on you in order to gain access of your personal information, banking details, and online activities. So spyware is a software. When you open that software, when you click that software, when that software is installed on your machine, the hacker who has created a spyware, with the help of that spyware, he can get access of your data of your machine and he can easily get all information from your machine. Adware is also one type of malware that bombards you with the endless ads and pop-up windows that could potentially be dangerous for your device. So it disturbs you the working at frequently at bombarding different advertises on some pop-ups on your screen that will disturb the persons. Ransomware, the name itself indicates that ransomware is nothing but khandani. So in that case, hacker use these techniques to lock you out of your devices and demand ransom in return for access. Ransomware are softwares through which the attacker gets, or you can say the hacker get access to your machine and he asks ransom for that particular owner. If you pay that money, then he gives the access to that particular owner of that information. So this is also one of the malware. And last one is the ATM scheming. It is the technique of compromising the ATM machine by installing a scheming device at the top of machine keypad to appear as a genuine keypad or device made to be affixed to the card reader to look like a part of a machine. And when that particular owner of that particular card enters card details, that card details will be stolen, captured by the member's attacker, and by using that details, credentials, he can do a fraud of money fraud. So these are some of these malwares widely used by attackers to get access of your data. So to minimize these attacks, different types of antiviruses were used. Some examples are AVG antivirus, Panda antivirus, McAfee, Norton. These are some of the examples of antivirus softwares which are used to protect your systems from different threats who gets protected. These security softwares protects your data, protects your system from such type of unauthorized access. So from this we can say that to maintain cybersecurity is not the responsibility of a single person. So you have to contribute all members. If all members are trying taking responsibility to maintain cybersecurity, then only it is possible to maintain proper cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility is the key. With this keynote, I want to stop my presentation. If you have any doubts regarding what is regarding cybersecurity and all the other details, you can call me on my mobile number. My mobile number is 98500 98225. My name is Dr. B.J. Mohiti. I will stop here. Thank you.